So this was an encouraging start to the week. 205 for a top end set of 10 consecutive repetitions on the incline bench. I can actually recall the first time that I YOLO PR'd 205 on the incline bench, and this was many, many years ago, and it was far outside of my physical capacity at the time. The attempt was cringy beyond belief. In fact, if I am remembering accurately, I believe I had actually hit a 1 rep max with 185 that same workout or the workout previously, and then decided to jump another 20 pounds, which is excessive, but I was lacking in knowledge relative to reasonable rates of progression at that time. After all of the volume work here on the incline bench, I transitioned into some Pendlay rows, and I have not incorporated Pendlay rows for quite a while, so I started off lighter, focusing on dialing in that form as per the execution. From there, we went into some chin-ups, struggling quite a bit with the ability to control my body weight still, but I've gained back adequate amounts of upper body strength such that I can actually execute these with a symmetrical pull, and I can actually get my chin over the bar and then back down through to a full extension in the arm. So that's encouraging to say the least. I'm actually confident that now that I can execute a full range of motion chin up properly, that it will contribute quite rapidly to my regain of upper body strength. Threw in a cable tricep extension variation here. Not really sure what the heck I'm doing, just kind of playing around with something different. Don't really know if I'm a fan of it yet or not. More than adequate pump, kind of awkward execution. So we'll see if it sticks around. And then we finished off this upper body training session with some alternating bicep curls. Nothing too fancy, but some high rep sets there. We got the 20-pound dumbbells out, 30 reps per arm. The sleeves were starting to split, and we're moving on to leg day. Day 4 of this 5-day rotation training block, meaning 5 upper body days, 5 lower body days. We've got good mornings on deck today, so we're running top end sets of 10. I'm going to have a wicked pump in the lower back, and I'm pretty sure my hamstrings are going to be absolutely trashed, as is usually the case when running 10 rep sets on SSB Good Mornings. We've also got some belt squat today. Let's get under the bar and let's get after it. And as I assumed, my posterior chain got absolutely punished, brutalized. It was a beatdown, and I was not a fan. By the end of the back off sets for Good Morning, I was mentally struggling. I had to psych myself up for set 4 and 5 respectively, because my glutes, my hamstrings, my lower back, this brings back bad memories. I am not looking forward to the next time I'm getting underneath the SSB as a stronger individual to do relatively intense 10 rep sets across multiple working sets. No, thank you. I am busy that day, even though I'll still show up, because successful people do what they have to do whether they feel like it or not. So a top end set of 230 for 10, which is pretty solid weight on the SSB Good Morning, especially for me. And then back off sets with 180 pounds for 4 sets of 10. And the back off sets didn't even feel like back off sets because of how much fatigue accumulated over all of the work in this training session. As soon as that was done, we went into 3 sets of 5 on the belt squat here. 315 pounds total, including the track itself, or the sled that holds the weight. These are deceptively brutal once you've absolutely cooked your posterior chain. I could feel my glutes working so hard through the execution of these belt squats today. And then, of course, to add insult to injury here, we've got 5 sets of 15 on the back extension. Done like dinner about describes how I felt at the end of this session. This is going to be a very demanding training block, I can tell. Fortunately, on Saturday morning, the weight that I was supposed to execute my weighted dips with was actually my body weight, so I did not have to add any extra load here. Sets of 10 to 12. Massive pump in the chest, shoulders, and triceps before transitioning into some wide grip pull downs here. Now, even though the weight wasn't all that heavy, this was a big volume increase for me, which was encouraging, but the forearms were fatigued, the biceps were beat, and the lats certainly had a pump and a half. Then I fell victim to the trap. I wanted to prioritize my traps, and I incorporated some upright rows with the barbell. I know these are not a very popular exercise, but I like them, so every once in a while they find their way into my training regimen. I'm just a fan of them. I enjoy them, and I've never had an issue, even though they have a bad reputation in some parts of the training community. They've always treated me well, so every once in a while they find their way into the rotation of accessory exercises. Then we went into some lying tricep extensions here with the straight bar up to 95 pounds. Big wide rep range here because I overshot my first set with 20, then barely could get 10 on the second set and kind of had to roll back, rest a little bit extra, then went 15 and 12 respectively. And yeah, back of the arms, they weren't feeling so hot after all of this. And then we had to just work them a little more because you can never have enough triceps. So we got the fat grips out, put them on the dumbbells, did some thick handle dumbbell chest presses. We got the 40s rolling for 2 sets of 25, and that was Saturday wrapped. So we got leg day on deck today, bringing the rack pulls back in. This is the 5th lower body day in this current training regimen. So I'm not used to this 5-day rotation. I also realized it's going to stagger the days that I train on, because usually I have a 4-day rotation, which means every Sunday I'm doing the same lower body lifts, but not in this particular situation, which is going to be interesting to see how my performance fluctuates with that change in training day relative to specific variations. Oh well. Under the bar we get. And SSB squats stole the show on Sunday morning, 290 for a top end set of 10, before backing it off to 261 pounds respectively for 2 sets of 10. Still keeping the back off sets short on the SSB because I'm continuing to make progress week in and week out every time that I get under the bar on this particular variation, so no need to add in extra volume just yet. Maybe in the near future. However, we're going to keep running these linear progressions with the least amount of application of stress as we need to employ. As soon as I was done with the SSB, I realized that I had not incorporated rack pulls below the knee in ages. So I wasn't really sure what I should be aiming for because I'm quite a bit stronger than I was. So I figured, based off of the math, I should be doing 417.5 for 10, but should I feel good, maybe I will do a couple more repetitions up to a maximum of 15. And for some reason the video cut short. However, I did in fact manage to clear exactly 15 repetitions, and I feel like I might have had 1 or 2 okay reps in the tank, but that would have definitely been pushing it and somewhat unreasonable, as we're not here to do 20 rep maxes of rack pulls. These were from below the knee, and I felt quite good doing them. So that's encouraging, I guess. And as soon as this top end set was complete, there were no back off sets. I went immediately onto the reverse hyper, and we're up to 240 pounds on the reverse hyper for 5 sets of 10 repetitions. Eventually, I'm going to have to take this newly developed strength on the reverse hyper and bring back some of the absolutely horrific high rep sets. Like 6 to 10 rep sets on the reverse hyper are cool. 20 to 25 rep sets, not so much.